you, Madam Clerk. Having received the necessary majority of votes cast, we have a quorum. Sullivan County Commission meeting is in session. Our first order of business is approval of notaries. Madam Clerk, we have a list of notaries.
Rebecca Esito, Brian K. Boland, Donna Marie Ortiz, Brian William Bryant, Sonora Christian, Zachary Ashton Cox, Andy Crawford, M.T. Dale, Mark Stephen Dessauer, Jessica Faith Dowell, Deborah L. Dunn, Robert C. English II, Max E. Everett, Kimberly D. Fifield, Carol Goldfinger Ford, Alicia Huron, Christy Puget, Nicole Hodgson, Amaya Ray Huntley, Kelly J. Johns, Haley Ruth Kessner, James Todd Douglas, Tessa Malone, Deborah Jean Manis, David Miracle, Donna T. Ostermeyer, Ashley Powers, Merrill D. Quillen, Brandon W. Quillen, Michael J. Reimert, Huey Reisner Jr., Kevin Renee Roberts, Joseph Shockley, Carmen Ann Smith, Tina Lynn Smith, Cameron Bryce Norris, Maurice Strong, Thomas Suits, Sonia Wilson, Kristen Boyer.
You've heard the list of notaries. Is there any discussion on the list of notaries as presented?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Cole, second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion on the list of notaries as printed? Without objection, when the board opens, please cast your vote on the approval of notaries public requiring 13 votes for passage. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote, Madam Clerk?
20 yes, 4 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, the notary publics are approved. Next order is approval of minutes of Board of Commissioners of Sullivan County's June 11, 2026, rezoning, June 18, 2026, monthly meeting in June 29, 2026, special call meeting. Is there any discussion on the minutes as presented?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Crawford, second by Commissioner Cole. Is there any further discussion on the approval of commission meeting minutes? Without objection, when the board opens, please cast your vote, requiring 13 votes for passage. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk.
20 yes, 4 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, the minutes are approved. Next order, appointments, presentations, and recognitions. I want to read a couple of letters from Mayor Venable. One is the resignation of Mr. David Arnold, and one is the appointment. Subject matter is Utility District Commissioner replacement. And it's attached is the paperwork requesting a nominee for the Intermont Utility District Commissioner. Mr. David Arnold resigned on May 7, 2026 due to the scheduled projects in our district's replacement is imperative as soon as possible. We would appreciate your immediate attention, and should there be any questions, please feel free to contact me anytime, and that is the hereby certify to the Sullivan County Mayor pursuant to TCA 782-307 that a vacancy has occurred upon said utility board. The Intermont District Board of Commissioners further certifies that the nominee Hunter Woodall is qualified and has agreed to serve on the board. Now therefore be it ordered, adjudged, and decreed by Sullivan County Mayor Richard S. Venable pursuant to TCA 782-307. Nominee Hunter Woodall is appointed to the Intermont Utility District Board of Commissioners per Tennessee Code annotated term to expire by law of the utility district. You've heard the explanation on the appointment. Anyone seek recognition and discussion? Entertain a motion to approve. Motion to approve by Commissioner Crawford, second by Commissioner Akers. Is there any other discussion on the appointment of Hunter Woodall to the Intermont Utility District Board? Without objection, when the board opens, please cast your vote on the appointment, requiring 13 votes for passage. Okay. Everybody doing okay? We can do a roll call. Jeopardy music. Okay. Without objection, when the board opens, please cast your vote on the appointment, requiring 13 votes for passage. Has every member voted? Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk.
21 yes, 3 absent.
Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, appointment of Hunter Woodall is approved. Thank you. Next order is proclamation recognizing Second Harvest Food Bank in Northeast Tennessee for outstanding community service and celebration of its 40th anniversary. And I'd like to recognize Chairman Pro Tem Mayor Lake Zane Vanover for the presentation of the proclamation.
Ms. Chapin and your guests want to come up?
Right here. Right here.
I'm honored today to make this proclamation recognizing the 40th anniversary of Second Harvest Food Bank in Northeast Tennessee. Whereas Second Harvest Food Bank in Northeast Tennessee has led the effort to alleviate hunger throughout the 8-county region of Carter, Greene, Hancock, Hawkins, Johnson, Sullivan, Unicoi, and Washington counties since 1986. And whereas the mission of Second Harvest Food Bank in Northeast Tennessee is to feed people facing hunger by securing and distributing food and engaging the community in solving hunger through regional partnerships, programs, and education. And the food bank's vision is to achieve a hunger-free Northeast Tennessee where every person has access to nutritious food. And whereas Second Harvest Food Bank in Northeast Tennessee is a member of the Feeding America Network and is one of only 5 Feeding America partner food banks serving the state of Tennessee. And whereas through the generosity of donors, volunteers, community organizers, faith-based partners, businesses, and dedicated staff, the food bank provides hunger relief, nutrition assistance, and hope to thousands of children, families, seniors, veterans, and individuals each year. And whereas during the COVID-19, Hurricane Helene, and SNAP distribution, Second Harvest Food Bank in Northeast Tennessee served as a regional disaster relief hub, providing food, water, and essential supplies to thousands of affected residents and supporting emergency response efforts throughout Northeast Tennessee. And whereas during the fiscal year 2026, Second Harvest Food Bank in Northeast Tennessee distributed more than 13.5 million pounds of food, providing the equivalent of more than 11 million meals to neighbors facing food insecurity across Northeast Tennessee. And whereas in Sullivan County alone, the food bank distributed more than 3.8 million pounds of food during fiscal year 2026 through partner agencies, mobile food distribution sites, and specialized nutrition programs serving children, seniors, veterans, and other vulnerable residents. And whereas for every $1 donated, Second Harvest Food Bank in Northeast Tennessee can help provide up to 3 meals for individuals and families experiencing hunger. And whereas for 40 years, the food bank has provided hunger relief to thousands of people every year, responded to emergencies and disasters, strengthened community partnerships, and remained steadfast in its commitment to ensuring that no neighbor faces hunger alone. And whereas July 2026 marks the beginning of the 40th anniversary of Second Harvest Food Bank in Northeast Tennessee, celebrating 4 decades of dedicated service, compassion, and leadership in the fight against hunger throughout Northeast Tennessee. And therefore, be it proclaimed that the Sullivan County Commission hereby recognizes and congratulates Second Harvest Food Bank of Northeast Tennessee on its 40th anniversary and expresses its sincere appreciation for its outstanding service, unwavering commitment, and lasting contribution to the citizens of Sullivan County and the entire Northeast Tennessee region. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Cheryl? And if there's a news outlet here with a good camera, you're welcome to take a picture as well. It's my subtle way of saying where's Rick Wagner. There he is, my brother.
Very good.
Here, I'll try it. I shake a lot. One, two, three. We'll do one this way. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all for being here. Next order is our quarterly report on economic development. Recognize Networks Director Clay Walker. Bill well. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I need to use the handheld mic or?
Yes, sir. And for folks that sign up for public comment, I know you're used to having the mic up there. If you'll use the handheld, our regular mic has apparently grown legs. We've not seen it in several days, so.
Yeah, I'll avoid the temptation. This is on.
And Commissioner Cole, if you could turn on Commissioner Cross's mic, that way I'll at least pick it up and record it.
Is that good? Are we good? I don't want to avoid the temptation to break into karaoke here. That's what. Some
Sounds
usually have
good.
it handheld. First of all, before I forget it, this was in the notes, but congratulations to everyone in Kingsport for the IMAX Theater's soft opening today. We're ribbon cutting tomorrow. I know a lot of years have gone into that, and I'm real excited for the Spider-Man movie coming out to watch it there. So just in time. So hopefully everyone here received and read our newsletter from top to bottom. You know, we're kind of at that time where so much is going on, but not a lot we can talk about that's going on. But folks here pretty much know because you're great confidants, and we share what we're working on, and you know about the projects. So we'll touch on a couple projects without getting too deep into the details. Been before us for a long time. We've been working on Project Rocks for about 4 years now, maybe 4 years in December anyway. And that's the Fip Spin project that plans on doing that and have manufacturing there and headquarters likely to be in Kingsport. We're kind of in the crucial point of that project where I think the next 60 to 90 days will be the make or break, and everything looks good there. So fingers crossed on that, as well as working a project out by the airport on the land that we purchased from KDB with your support and our other partners' support. That Project Inlet, which is a large distribution project that looks to have about 200 jobs tied to it. We met with the developer and his engineering firm today in our office on that, and that continues to move forward and looks very good. So, so good things on those projects. A couple things that have happened have been in the news. Congratulations to Premier Transportation, Homeland Vinyl, on their recent announcements and expansions. And happy 5-year anniversary to U.S. Antibiotics in Bristol. We've been on talking to them just this week about how we can help them grow. We talked to them the past 2 days, and it's hard to believe that they've been here for 5 years, but they're doing great things out there. Speaking of our properties, so like the one, the Fip Spin property and the property out by the airport, we have had TVA Invest Prep site visits, awaiting news for grants in their program, and we are still working on getting back in the Tennessee Prep program, which is where they give you a third-party consulting breakdown evaluation of properties we're considering developing. We've submitted 8 properties to hopefully qualify for that, and that also, when you qualify for that, not only do you get those great analysis of the properties and recommendations, all those properties become eligible for site grants that we rely on so heavily. So we just sent a letter of intent to apply for that program just a couple of days, or I guess it was early last week. We also, April Eads from BTS and I met with other regional economic development folks with the new TVA CEO, Mike Skaggs. And it's exciting how TVA sees Northeast Tennessee, how the new CEO sees economic development. We had a great meeting, and he's really doubling down on all that TVA does and contributes to economic development. So it's a great meeting, and I was privileged and felt honored to be included in it. We've been working a lot. I don't want to steal Gene Cossey's thunder, but Gene Cossey has been doing a lot of great work, and we've been working in partnership as we continue to do on Airspace Park. I will say that there will be podcasts coming out soon that we work with the airport, but it's the airports. They're the main driver of the project, but we are working on podcasts just to let people know and understand more about Aerospace Park. And it hasn't gone as quickly as y'all know. You know, the parks we typically flip as soon as we get them developed. In fact, 3 of our last 4 parks that we had put to market ready, site preparation, have sold before we even got the bulldozers off the land. It's a little bit different in Aerospace Park, and I think people wonder why. So Gina's working on ways to better communicate internally so that people know what's going on at Aerospace Park, because a lot is going on, including last quarter we did our annual trip and partnered with the airport at exhibiting at MRO Americas, and lots of good leads and conversation from that. But again, it's a little slower moving than typical projects. There's a very finite companies that qualify under FAA guidelines to even be able to consider that property. In workforce development news, in our newsletter, you saw the work of Career Connections, First Tennessee Development District having their Career Quest. Workforce and workforce development here in Northeast Tennessee continues to be our greatest differentiating advantage of other communities. Our K through 12 schools and what they do, particularly in CT work, is just outstanding and really different than I've seen anywhere I've been. And then when you throw in the partnerships of Northeast State Community College, ARCAM, the TCATs, King University, ETSU, we do a great job they do a great job at prepping workforce, and it makes a big difference for us. So we partner when we can. And speaking of that, the Education to Employment Summit will be on August 26th, on August 26th at the Railroad Depot in Bristol, led by First Tennessee Development District. We are a sponsor, and I believe I'll be presenting, leading into a great program that they have at ARCAM about companies to do supervisor training. It started off as a Cardinal Glass initiative, and it's just incredible, as all their programs are. We have new board members from the City of Kingsport. Colette George replaced Tim Dean, who resigned for personal reasons, and Krista Morris, new city manager in an ex officio role, is on our board. And we look forward to welcoming a friend of all of ours, including this group, Matt Slagle, as he will be on our board in ex officio capacity and partner with us in many other meaningful ways as he steps into the city manager role at the City of Bristol. So again, I want to keep it short and to the point, but obviously we'll entertain any questions from the commissioners.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. I'm going to open the floor up. Bring out Commissioner Harvey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There's been a lot of information about data centers, and I would just like to hear your perspective and where you think Sullivan County either would benefit from that, how it would affect utility rates, and potential revenue for the county.
Well, it's a tough question to answer, but I will answer. It depends on a lot of factors. There are data centers and there are data centers. I think with some events that happened in some of our neighboring counties over the past few years with crypto mining operations that were not the best corporate citizens to have in the region, it kind of blackened the eye of data centers as a whole. And there are a lot of great data center projects out there. So it's finding that balancing act of separating the wheat from the chaff, but it's very hard to do because, you know, in government, if you're going to let one in, you can't really pick and choose so much on that. And then, just as importantly, maybe more so, it's where do they go? I mean, there are some good properties away from residential, close to a lot of great power resources. I mean, BTS has made some big investments in their upgrades that have incredible capacity. I mean, Fitspin Industrial Park has as much capacity as anybody in the state in that park, and it's very isolated. So I think it's strategic, where do they go? But I think what you're doing, and we talked to Luke Mead a lot about what's going on. I think everybody we represent right now is in some sort of partial or temporary moratorium as they study it. And we like to come to the table on all of those. And where Kingsport ends up, on where they land, on what they feel data centers has to be best for Kingsport, and it might look different than what Bristol does, and it might look different for what Sullivan County does, or Bluff City does, or anybody across the region. But my opinion would be that we don't want to slam the door so that we keep ourselves from welcoming a really good data center project, because many of them are good. They're great taxpayers. I mean, I know you guys are dealing with budget, and all. There are some data center projects that could come in and the amount of property tax could take care of building 3 schools. They're not large employers, generally speaking. Usually it tops out between anywhere from 10, really as low as 10, to as high as 70 to 75. There are some with more, but that's generally the type of projects we see. But those jobs are extremely high paying. So there's a lot of value, but it's very unique value than any other industries we deal with. So there are a lot of concerns. I don't think it's going to have the impact on rates as one might fear, because our power suppliers aren't going to commit to supplying that energy that they can't supply. I mean, those things, they would take care of that themselves. They're not going to put themselves beyond it. Water is another big component to it, but there's technology now that where they're using different things besides water, or it's a one-time draw, and then most of it is recycled through their system, and they just have to occasionally add a little to that as they're going to lose some of that, but it's usually a one-time deal. In data center projects we have talked to over the last year, I think they're recognizing the resistance. It'd be hard for them not to, because every community they look at, they face it. So they are figuring out, for us being business, we have to solve these problems for communities. So I think as they develop the technology and the partnership, I mean, for example, on the power infrastructure upgrades they have to do, the last data center project we talked to asked about how much it would take to get the upgrade for the power they needed. And we told them, and it wasn't a matter of can you do it, it's like, we just want to know what's going to cost us to do it. That they right out of the chute were taking on the responsibility that we know we would be asked to pay for that. So it's changing, as so many things are. But again, I don't think we should permanently close the door, but I think the look that you have your planning department doing right now is appropriate, because we have to protect the long-term future of our region.
Anyone else seek recognition?
Well, this is my last time before you, before there's going to be a new group out there. I know there are a lot of people who have opted not to run, or who might not, who face opposition in the elections. Let me just say thank you to each and every one of y'all. The support you have shown us, this commission, as it's comprised now, has shown as much support for economic development as I have ever had the privilege of working for, and I appreciate it. I'm looking at my friend Herschel, who has gone to bat for us, so many of you. I mean, just singling by out, every one of you have asked tough questions when we come before you with an ask. As long as we've had good answers that make sense, you've been supportive. And thank every one of you for serving, but particularly those who may be outgoing. Know how much that we at Networks appreciate all that you've done for us. Thank you for having me.
Thank you always for being here. Thank you. Next, our quarterly report on NETA's work promoting tourism for Sullivan County. I'd like to recognize Explorer Bristol Executive Director Matt Boas. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. I want to apologize for I'm not Alicia, nor am I Frank from Visit Kingsport. So you get me and Chelsea, and you get Sarah Fleming, which I think is an upgrade. So if that could be recorded in the minutes, we'd appreciate it. They are actually in state tourism meetings and trying to get back sometime late tonight, because as we know, Fun Fest and a lot of things are opening up in the county. Do I go ahead and start? There you go, begin. I can talk. We can chit chat. There was a presentation emailed on Monday, but I might have flash drive.
Who'd you email it to?
Alicia emailed it. I have to look. I do have the flash drive.
You're like me, Mr. Bowles, I'm the guy at work that always has a jump drive in his pocket.
I learned a long time ago. I did a presentation once with a video, I had no sound.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to act it out.
Interpretive.
It was not my best moment, but technology.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. We appreciate our partnership and working together. Just wanted to go over a few things, some exciting numbers that we see. As you know, we like to pull a lot of information in a short amount of time because I know that you all have questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask us. During the meeting, after the meeting, we can meet with you and follow up afterwards. We're happy to do that at any time. We love to talk tourism and explain things and how things are going. This is just a little bit of a wrap-up of the spring digital campaign that we were telling you we're doing, some of the results from that, and some of our key markets, which were Atlanta, Nashville, Raleigh, Orlando, the DC, Northern Virginia area. Those were some of the markets that we targeted. With social media, with OTT, Roku, TV ads, programmatic ads, which are those ads, banner ads, and those kinds of things. So we had 888,000 total impressions, and then we had 1,300 clicks to the Sullivan County website. We expanded that to summer, which is, as we know, we're here in the throes of summer, which is some of our busiest time of the year. Again, it's adventure awaits. What we're trying to do is tie in authentic experiences that people can see and experience when they're in town. Local sporting events, local restaurants, outdoor areas, because we're known, Sullivan County is, you know, it's the king of outdoor beauty and space and trails. So we try to tie those things in, pushing the naturally inspired. So this started just within this past 30 days. Atlanta, Nashville, Raleigh, Orlando, Chicago, because as you know, that's a new flight for us, and also New York. A lot of those urban areas and those regions that want to come here. And we know that from people that request information and go to our websites, that we can track that information. And then the next slide, which is just a quick impact snapshot. And you can see some of the numbers, the site visits just in the second quarter of what we had coming through, and some of the cities again. As you can see, there's kind of a repetition when it's Nashville and some of the others. And then next we'll talk about some of the flight campaign, which we're really excited about, really pushing the flights. We're trying to do Explore Northeast Tennessee and do the huge Tennessee layover campaign. It was very, very successful. We had almost 6,500 people click to learn more about these flights that we do have. And we know how important that is, because the more people we get to use those flights, the less is the investment from what the bridge has done and helped us getting these flights, and hopefully we'll get more flights, more visitors, and more economic return. Sullivan 250 is next. I'd be remiss, we have a lot going on in Sullivan County. The committee, if you're on that committee, give yourselves a pat on the back. You've done a lot. There's a team of folks that are really working on that and showcasing our heritage and our history. That is of interest to visitors as well. We push that out there. We have ads running, social ads, and some of those ads, again, you may not see because we try to get people within 50 miles and around the area. We also let the Tri-Cities know, because it's always nice to have our neighbors come visit too. But you can see some of the interest, and those will still run through this summer as events go through to celebrate the nation's 250th. The next slide is really something we're excited about. We just got it launched. It's an AI trip planner. A lot of people plan their travel in evenings and nights, so they're not going to the Welcome Center, they're not calling, someone if they're at home 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock trying to plan travel. So using AI in a smart way, we're trying to tie in all the assets that are in Sullivan County that someone can plan this, and they can determine a budget range if they're looking for moderate, high end, whatever they're looking for. They can tell us how many kids they have. They can tell us the age range, so we know what kind of family-friendly activities they're looking for. They can pick the time of dates of the year that they're coming in. So there might be special events that are going on in that time. And then they have the option of reaching out to us and telling us what they're specifically looking for, and then we can respond back to them if they need the human interaction. We're not taking away the human interaction, but it is, as you all know, everyone likes immediacy. So this kind of helps us, and we're really excited because we're the only entity in the region that's doing that in Sullivan County. So that's really exciting. So you can play around with that. Next is big moments around Bristol Motor Speedway. We have a great partnership with Bristol Motor Speedway. This campaign has really taken off. We know how important that is from a lodging standpoint, from restaurants and taxes and everything that helps to generate income from the tourism sector. This is some of our greatest exposure. In these big moments in Bristol, we had a custom bannering that were put up in all the hotels, trying to get people here to stay longer, to experience different things while they were here, so that they spent more money, spent more time, and increased our economy. The next thing is part of that partnership with Bristol Motor Speedway, and we are very thankful for Jerry Caldwell and his team. We are running the Hospitality Village, so we're doing that, and we had our first experience of running at the drag races, which was really, really exciting, noisy in a good way. So we really were thrilled for that. We gave away branded bandanas with Sullivan County. Those went like wildfire. I didn't even have one, so they were gone, and the fans were wearing them throughout the weekend and came by the Hospitality Village. We're going to be running a village again for the fall race, for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of the races. So you can see us there again with a lot of questions about things to do, things they can go throughout the region. And so we help them, whether they're at Kingsport, going to Bristol, Bluff City, a lot of hiking questions from the drag race folks. Lake and rivers, a lot of hiking questions. So we help them there, and I think we're going to be doing the same there for the races. And I think I might be allowed to say, no? Go ahead. Okay, we're doing something really, really cool. We're going to have a wrestling by our tent. So we're going to have some live activity through the Morton family. You all know the Morton. So the track's thrilled. We're going to have some wrestling on Friday and Saturday. So really engage our fans that come through, because the Hospitality Village is about a good time and to get them to do more things. Again, we talked about micro itineraries. Those are now launched and going through. The spring, with those have a lot of main streets with Bluff City, Bristol, Kingsport. We did the whole downtown initiative. We're continuing that. It's so strong. We're continuing it again, as you'll see here in just a little bit. Summer right now, Hooks Hollows and Heritage, so you can learn about, South Holston, the Kingsport Mural Trail, Hickory Tree, Ridgewood, all the unique experiences that we have here. We're pushing those out with itineraries because we do believe in local here in the county. Downtowns and trails, because it was successful, we're taking that as more of an additional initiative, is to, in winter, holiday season, the holiday lights that we have in all the communities here around the courthouse here at Speedway Lights, as we all know, the downtowns, the places where people can experience an authentic holiday Christmas, whether it's here in downtown for some of the historic Christmas tours. We're putting all those in there as well. And that will kick off as we start Christmas travel right around the Halloween time to get that surge, to get people to plan their visits. Next is the things that we were specifically doing at Explore Bristol. We've had photo and video shoots that are continuing on. We're continuing on with our summer video series, which is now crossed 1.2 million impressions. I'll tell you, the strongest videos we have are, in terms of viewership, South Holston River, South Holston Lake. So it's not a surprise to me, but those are the two highest that are charting, and we drive people to learn more about our community. We are bringing in social media influencers. One is Jared. If you see some of the images that we share with anyone, and that's Jared up in the corner left overlooking South Holston, Flint Rock Trail, I do believe. He is he's an ETSU grad. His dad was at King University, and he's been tied into King He travels all around. He was in New Zealand for a month. He was in Gatlinburg. We are so lucky that when he comes home, he does videography and photography for our area because he really cares about our community. Some of the social media numbers, I'll show it there at the bottom. They're really, really large. Just like Visit Kingsport, his numbers are up, and we're very excited. And next slide, we have Kingsport, which Kingsport has been going crazy with not just the IMAX opening, but with their events that they are hosting. We have a gym at Meadowview, and they have sports fields throughout Kingsport in the area. They've had, and the list, as you see, volleyball, softball, jiu-jitsu. They bring in a lot of groups with animals, the corgis and the spaniels, and just, I think last week was a motorcycle group of 1,300 motorcycle riders. This is a good hub for those individuals as they like mountain trails and they like to drive through the area. And then also another content creator that came through, we had Explored Nash. They are from Nashville. They have a following of about 500,000 when you add up their social media. They're really popular. You'll probably see their reels and their videos. They came during the race. They spent the first 2 nights around the Kingsport area, and then for the race, we put them up in the Roundhouse Cabin, if you all know where that is, near Hickory Tree. They had a blast. They actually stayed an extra day. They had such a good time, and we threw in fly fishing. So they are going to be, with South Ulster River Company, they are going to be doing videos on the weekly, every other week, for the next 8 weeks. And they have a huge following and a huge engagement. So they went through the whole region of Sullivan County, and we were excited that they were here. And then I'm going quick, I promise. Collaboration, we just want to thank you all for maintaining a relationship and working with us. And it's just been a pleasure to work with Sullivan County. We get along so well already with, Kingsport, Bristol, our friends throughout the county. If there's anything that we can do, please let us know. If y'all need assets or any of those kinds of things, please let us know. Because our goal is to promote what there is here to bring more people so they'll spend more money and improve our economy. But other than that, I think the last is our thank you slide, and it's just, we are naturally inspired. It's the hook where people who do not have these views, this is the hook that we use a lot to get people to come here. So I went quick, and I know there's a lot of information, so if there's any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Bolus. Anyone seek recognition? Recognize Commissioner Jones.
Matt, this commission made a decision to support tourism. We instituted the hotel motel tax. In your opinion, what's been the value and how has it allowed Alicia and the spillover to Bristol and Kingsport? And don't forget to mention that the TML was here last week.
They are. That's the thing. Alicia does a great job. We have full transparency in everything that we do, and we work together. What's going to be best in each community? TML, that's awesome, amazing. As you all know, I've been helping and working with Meadowview too. We send groups down there because we do not have that kind of facility in Bristol, Tennessee. And so we do push people to Meadowview. Meadowview brings people to us. They come up here and do events at the track. That partnership has been going on for quite some time, but I think it's been extremely beneficial. I can't thank you enough for allowing us to work in there, because not only is it allowing us to promote the things we are known for, but promoting the things that people may not realize that we're known for. Some of our most big engagement is stuff like Hickory Tree and Ridgewood and the river. And this has allowed us to reach more people and bring more people in, because lodging taxes are up. They're up upon last year, so more money's coming in. And the best part is there's a sales tax on top of that, and you all keep all of that. So that's awesome too. We don't track that part, but that's a huge chunk. That's probably bigger than occupancy. Thank you.
Commissioner Harvey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Matt, thank you. That was a great job. So I think we all have seen the benefit of what you all are doing as far as what the result is, but I think since this commission deals with distributing the money for it, it would be helpful, I think, if we knew where that money was going exactly.
Okay.
So, I mean, if we could have a breakdown, is that possible?
Oh,
Where-
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just show us, you know, this was spent for this expense, this cost, whatever. And I think if we saw that, it would really help us to understand about the distribution, how much is left over, because the way the law is written, there could be a lot of different applications for this tourism money. And I think it just would be helpful if we know how much is going where, and then it'll help us to make decisions going forward.
We'll be happy to do that, especially people probably are unaware how much it costs to advertise with media and those kinds of partnerships. We'll be happy to do that.
Okay,
We do it already, but we'll just put it in a report.
that would be great. Thank you so much.
Anyone else seek recognition? Mr. Bolus, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you all.
Always welcome, thank you. Our next order is public comment on agenda and non-agenda related items. If you did not have an opportunity to sign up for public comment, but wish to, Commissioner Cole will stand there and has to sign up sheet if anybody wishes to sign up. Agenda and non-agenda related items. Before I begin, I will like to read our rules of public comment. First, pursuant to Rule 4 of our local rules, we will recess for the purpose of public comment for 30 minutes. Each speaker is requested to state their name and address for the clerk's electronic record. Though this is not question and answer, clarifying questions may be permitted. No speaker can transfer or yield time to another speaker. Each speaker will be allotted 3 minutes uninterrupted and is asked to direct all comments to the chair of the body and not the members. At the end of the 3 minutes, I will let you know and ask that you make your final statement. And on agenda-related items, I invite Joshua French. Welcome, Mr. French.
Thank you. Name's Joshua French. I reside at 3727 Skyland Drive, Kingsport, Tennessee. Tonight, this county commission faces two funding resolutions, Pet Works and Second Harvest, as well as the most consequential decision of this year. That's the first reading of the county general budget. I'm here to respectfully ask that we move past divisive rhetoric and focus squarely on what is best for the citizens of Sullivan County and Bristol and Kingsport. Regarding Pet Works, at last month's meeting, there was a comment made that suggesting that Pet Works funding was strictly a city of Kingsport problem. Yet, during public comment that same night, a resident shared her struggles to get assistance from the Sullivan County Animal Shelter concerning a feral animal. Animal control is a county-wide concern. I urge the commission to set aside any friction that they have and vote in favor of this resolution. Regarding Second Harvest, ensuring that our most vulnerable, food-insecure citizens have access to basic nutrition, that should be a unifying priority for everyone. You're voting tonight on a $100,000 allocation for historical preservation of buildings in Blountville. If funds are available to preserve our past, I'm hopeful we can prioritize feeding our present. Past couple of weeks, I've got the chance to go to the budget hearing meetings. When this committee rejected the county school board, they stated concerns centered on having too many administrative positions, long-term financial implications, or hitting a wall or a cliff of using the reserves for reoccurring costs. However, the general budget presented tonight appears to contradict the very principles that was said last month during this meeting, notably by adding new administrative positions for the county. As a citizen, who values inquiry and objective data, and I know some of y'all like data as well, let's look at some statistics. Property tax revenue increased from 2020 to now, 95 million to 109. Let's look at some budgets. Solid waste spending has increased 350%. Highway department budget over that time increased 225%. This commission budget has nearly increased by 300%. General fund increased by 40%. Conversely, school general budget has decreased by nearly 20%. I respectfully ask the commission to apply the exact same financial scrutiny to the county budget that was applied to the school budget. Our local government must cultivate a stronger working relationship. Just last month, a commissioner sitting here tonight observed that the county commission and the school board, they've always struggled to work together. And they expressed doubt that they will probably ever see that anytime soon. That mindset needs to change. Last year, the commission balanced books by using reserve funds.
You're at 3 minutes, you can make your closing statement.
And it looks appear to be headed down that path today. I ask that we operate with consistent financial principles and practice what we preach for the betterment of all citizens of Sullivan County. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Verdona McClellan, welcome.
Thank you.
I recognize you under a non-agenda public comment. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. My name is Verdona McClellan, 116 Boulder Court, Kingsport, Tennessee. My husband has given his all to the Sheriff's Department. In December, he returned 60 years old and is being forced to retire. Doing his job, he was shot at while making only $11 an hour. At the time, I told Commissioner Kit McLaughlin that the officers need more pay. He told me my husband should get a new job. I said, well, who would protect you then? At the time, since that time, the pay has increased, and we appreciate that. Unfortunately, he has almost been run over twice. The second time, he had to make the decision to eliminate the threat to save himself and the K-9 officer. Being an officer also affects the family. While working in the jail, an inmate became angry at my husband and put a hit on my life to have me killed. He knew exactly where we lived. My husband told me to defend myself at all costs. He had the Kingsport Police Department to patrol our house all night. Have you ever stayed up all night waiting for someone to kill you? I have. My husband has held various positions and is now a sergeant in the courts. He is also a critical incident stress debriefer where he helps other agencies with trauma-related incidents, and I believe the most traumatic situation he personally experienced was having to stand guard in the operating room with Sergeant Hinkle. He has given himself to the community in various ways, and during COVID, while working, he was sent to the grocery store to go shopping for an elderly lady. The second time, she didn't send enough money for what was on her list, so at checkout, while in uniform, he had to decide what to keep and what to put back for a family he didn't know. He was extremely humiliated, yet he always keeps a smile on his face and is a man of integrity. This is just a fraction of the actions that he shows who he is and provides and proves that he deserves his benefits. Here at the Commissioners meeting on March 19th, the Sheriff told me that he has taken care of 90% of the Sheriff's Office. My question is, what about the 10% that's not been taken care of? My husband has gone above and beyond the call of duty. He has seen it all, he has been through it all, and he has dealt with it all. Our officers allow us to live our lives while theirs is on the line as soon as they walk out the door. They deserve what they work for. What's rightly theirs, their benefits. Their retirement is based on the top 5 years of their income, not allow them to work to 62 has caused some officers to fall short 2 years of reaching the 25-year mark while they would have to receive their full retirement benefits. These officers were never given the opportunity to express their opinion on these very 2 critical years, which so badly impacts their lives. The loss of these 2 higher income years will not only drop their retirement income, but it also affects their Social Security income. Some have said that they might have to start a minimum wage job for these next 2 years. At this time in our lives, our officers should not be dealing with such uncertainty. These officers who decided to stay committed to Sullivan County Sheriff's Office and not leave for a higher pay or more pay or better benefits, the county owes them what's rightly theirs, their benefits. I left you a copy of my statement. I also left you an article from Kingsport Times News from November 2020 2026, 2024, and it talks about the bridge, and I just would like for y'all to read that, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jay Baldor, welcome, sir. Welcome.
Jake Baldoff, 449 Lakeshore Road, and everybody can relax. I'm not going to talk about the fire departments. I'm going to talk about something totally different and equally as important. I was sitting watching the Channel 5 news last month, and they were talking about the Washington County Commissioners who were meeting with the Tennessee Comptroller's Office about freezing property tax for senior citizens in Washington County. Because it was the Channel 5 news, they didn't go into a whole lot of detail. So I went to my computer and typed in a question on Google. And for those of you who have not used Google in a while, Google doesn't point you to websites anymore. It's AI, and it basically comes up with a whole bunch of paragraphs. Back in 2007, the Tennessee legislature amended the Constitution of Tennessee to allow cities and counties to freeze property tax for senior citizens over the age of 65 that meet certain income limitations. Scrolling down a little bit further, I found that they had a list of all the counties in Tennessee. For Sullivan County, the 2025 income limit is $44,950, and for 2026, it's $46,070. I make more than that, so it's not applicable to me, and I'm assuming most of the commissioners here make more than that. But in the 5 years that I've been here, you guys have had one theme. Keep property tax low and look out for the vulnerable citizens that are on fixed income. This is something that you guys should look into, put forward, work with the Tennessee Comptroller's Office, and put this into place like the Washington County Commissioners are doing, and basically protect the citizens of Sullivan County. And that's kind of all I had to say on the subject. And before I close, I also wanted to say thank you to the commissioners that got me suspended from the fire department last month. And this is not a bad thank you. This is a heartfelt thank you because you did me a favor. And I just wanted to say thank you. And the microphone that was here, it was here last night at the BZA meeting, and Janessa, who works in the planning office, she took it and I thought she put it into a cabinet where you store the microphones. That's what I thought happened.
Thank you, Mr. Baldor. Thank you very much.
So that's where the microphone is, and I'll call tomorrow and find out where it went.
Okay, thank you. Victoria Mills Hunt. Ms. Hunt, I want to recognize a sitting commissioner. He had his light on before. I didn't notice that, but you're welcome to stay right there. But I'm going to recognize the commissioner. Commissioner Locke.
Thank you. I think about last year, I think Mr. Carr ran a resolution for property tax relief for Sullivan County residents, for veterans, and anyone over 65. And the cap on the income per year for Sullivan County residents and veterans is $32,500. So if you make less than that, you can apply for tax relief, and you can apply at the trustee's office. So I wanted to get that out there in case anybody was not aware of that.
Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Locke.
My name is Victoria Mills Hunt. I live at 4257 Rockhold Road. And you all know I like to give you all visuals. And I understand that the property taxes should not go up now. Here's your visual. This is what most of your constituents look like. We don't make $80,000 or $100,000 or more. We are not white collar. We make 40. We make 60. We work hard. I rolled off of a tractor and came in here. I have deodorant that gave out at 2 o'clock. I have dust and grease all over me. I have dirt and sweat where a proper lady would not and should not have them. And it's a good thing I'm not a proper lady. So, that to say, whenever you all talk about putting up property taxes, you may do it, you may not, but it makes us concerned. It makes the administrative officer that just retired wonder if she's going to have to go back into the working force to get a part-time job. It makes the widowed Sullivan County worker that her husband worked so hard to get her a house wonder how many more houses she's going to have to pick up so she can make her property taxes. It makes the couple that has 2 kids and one of them's fixing to go to college, how they going to pay for it and pay for their property taxes. It's an emotional roller coaster that you all put us on. I think a lot of the budget for the sheriff's department needs to be looked at. You have a jail that is over budget, over deadline, and not a soul in it. Why? And before you all actually go and take away the highway department's money, I don't know what your all's roads look like on your end of the county, but sometime this weekend, come to our end. And while you're up there, hit Broyles Lane, hit Island Road, hit Old Elizabethan Highway. They're horrible. I had a tie rod break on Old Elizabethan Highway that I had to replace. These are the roads that we have on our end of the county that need to be maintained and fixed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Am I the last one?
Yes, you are. I was going to see if there anyone else, you're the last one that signed up. Is there anyone else wishes to address the commission? You're fine. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hunt. Mr. Clerk.
Thanks, sir. You know, I've sat here and listened to some of the comments from the last couple of months about budget process and so forth, and then comments tonight about department heads and departments, you know, increasing 300% or 200% or 40% or whatever. And I've heard the highway department mentioned a lot of times. Let me tell you something. The last 8 years, Commissioner Murray has not come in here and asked for nothing. Nothing. We transferred some funds over when the man first got elected to buy some equipment with, and that's what, it was already in his budget. It was there. We transferred the money and then use it. Now, in this budget process that we're getting ready to go through, there's $1.3 million some dollars taken from the highway department. Now, where are you getting 30% or you 300%? When you look at that. 5 years ago, there was another penny tucked from them to put toward EMS vehicles. Never was given back to them. So don't sit there and tell me that we're not looking at things in here. You don't sit there and tell me that we're not trying to make adjustments and treat everybody right. It's fair. And as far as the school system and so forth, if you don't like what's going on with the school system, then look at the budget process that we go through. They handed us a budget, we looked at it, and if they want to use their fund balance, that's their intent. That's fine. But when the rubber hits the road, the 24 people sitting in this room has to come up with the money to pay for that, some way or another. And I'm tired of the highway department. There's 90 men over there trying to take care of 987 miles of road. 90 men trying to take care of 987 miles of road. And they've got 15 part-time employees. Now, everybody don't live in the city limits. So people that lives in the county shop, go to the city to buy food and they shop. That's where you get a lot of your tax money. It don't just come from the city residents. It comes from all over the county. And I'm tired of those guys getting thrown under the bus. They do a damn good job of what they've got to do with. And I'm proud of them. Every single one of them. Like I said, they don't come in here and ask for no money. They don't come in here every month and ask for
$2.50 an hour raise for their employees, they do what they got to do with. And this year, $2 million gone out of their budget. Or, excuse me, $1.37 million going out of their budget. Now, the next man that's taking over the highway department sitting up there, he can tell you how much money it takes to pave a mile of road in Sullivan County. If I'm not mistaken, it's about $33,000. Am I close?
Actually, it's a little higher. It's
Okay.
about $68,000.
$68,000 to pave a mile of road in the county. Now, that's where I'm at. And as far as the other departments, listen, they've been a lot of money spent in here. But it's things that people said they had to have, and it's funded. It's done. It's over. We gotta move on. But it's about time for it to hit the road. Like Mr. Aikman said, or Mr. Iverson said, it's the wall. And I'm tired of paying it. I pay just like you do. You live in the city, you probably say can't pay county city taxes, but I don't. I pay county taxes, but I pay a hell of a lot of them.
Thank you, Mr. Glover.
Thank you.
Anyone else seek recognition? Without objection, public comment portion of the agenda is closed. Our next order is approval of the consent agenda. On the consent calendar, we have items 3, 4, 5, and 6. Is there any discussion on the consent calendar as presented? Have a motion to approve by Commissioner Akers, second by Commissioner Locke. Any further discussion on the consent calendar? Without objection, when the board opens, please cast your vote on the consent calendar requiring unanimous consent. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk.
21 yes, 3 absent.
Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, the consent calendar is approved. Without objection, that takes us to old business. Recognize Commissioner Stidham on item number 1.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're going to roll this onto the August calendar.
Thank you, Commissioner Stidham. Sponsor defers item number 1 to next month's calendar. Recognize Commissioner King on item number 2.
We're going to pull this resolution.
You're going to pull it or move it to the end?
Pull.
Okay. Oh, that was the one from the call meeting.
Right.
Without objection, sponsor moves to withdraw item number 2. Takes us item 7. Recognize Commissioner Crosswhite on item number 7.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd also like to move this to next month, please. First reading.
Commissioner Crosswhite, sponsor moves first reading on item number 7. Without objection, recognize Commissioner Harvey on item number 8.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to move this resolution to first reading, please.
Sponsor moves first reading on item number 8. Without objection, recognize Commissioner Vanover, item number 9.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 9 is a resolution to appropriate $123,065.88 to the Northeast Tennessee Tourism Association for the Sullivan County occupancy tax collections for the fourth quarter of fiscal year 25-26. You've heard the presentation from Matt. Matt, Sarah, here, any questions? This is our quarterly payment that we're obligated by resolution to pay, so hope everyone can vote for it and support our occupancy tax money and where it's going. I'd like to ask for waiver of rules.
You've heard the explanation on item number 9. The floor is open for discussion. Sponsor moves waiver of rules on item number 9. That would require 16 votes for passage. Anyone seek recognition? Commissioner Aker.
No, thank you. And again, I want to thank Matt and them for the presentation. I think, this money's been a good investment all along, what we've been doing. And so, look forward to another quarter of it there, Matt. And hopefully Alicia and then we'll get back soon and get hard to work.
Anyone else seek recognition? Sponsor renews his motion on item number 9, requiring 16 votes for passage. Without objection, when the board opens, please cast your vote on item number 9. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk.
21 yes, 3 absent.
Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, item number 9 is adopted. Recognize Commissioner Vanover on item number 10.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. Item 10 is a resolution to amend, and it should say the 26-27 Circuit Court Clerk, so if you make that change, just a typing error. So it should read, resolution to amend the 26-27 Circuit Court Clerk's budget to approve the replacement of the criminal court video presentation platform in both of the criminal courtrooms in the Bluntville Justice Center. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Sullivan County, Tennessee, assembled a regular session July 16th, 26 approves the cost of $127,656 to replace the existing equipment and to amend the current fiscal year budget to cover the cost of the equipment. Be glad to answer any questions. I'd like to ask for waiver of rules for immediate adoption.
You've heard the explanation on item number 10. The floor is open for discussion. Sponsor moves waiver of rules on item number 10, requiring 16 votes for passage. Anyone seek recognition? Seeing none, without objection, when the board opens, please cast your vote on item number 10. Waiver of rules requires 16 votes for passage. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk.
21 yes, 3 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, item number 10 is approved. Attorney Street.
Chairman, that resolution's a little confusing to me. It amends the 2026-27 budget, but that's not even been passed yet. But then it says down at the bottom to amend the current fiscal year budget, so it seems to me to be contradictory. I'm just confused.
You want to address that, Ms. Bonner or sponsor?
I understand the confusion. I guess technically we are already in the 26, 27 year, so that would be the budget. We're on a continuing budget at this point because we didn't have a budget in place on July 1st, but this would just be an addition. And in my mind, it's really the same thing that happened in the previous resolution for NETA, the NETA contribution, because that is technically amending the 26, 27 budget, which is the continuing budget from 25, 26. Have I thoroughly confused everyone by the reasoning there?
Attorney Street.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I would say this. Many years ago, we had a big squabble in the commission when a resolution did not provide the source of the funding. And I think I've reminded y'all this several times before. So I want to give you a heads up. That caused a big problem many years ago, and I ended up having to say that the resolution had no value. It was worthless because it doesn't appropriate any money. It just amends the budget. So I'm not trying to start a problem, but this resolution does not give a source for where the money's coming from.
The money will come from the general fund. And can we make that an amendment to the resolution? Is there any need for the circuit clerk to address the commission? Just amend the resolution and state that it comes from the general fund.
Yes, and I don't want to be the hall monitor here, but it caused a big problem once before. It was a major deal, so I'm just trying to give y'all a heads up on it.
Commissioner Akers.
Yeah, I actually agree with Dan, and I don't think I was the cause of the hubbub, but I firmly remember the previous commission. It was pretty much, if you didn't put what the account codes were and where, we'll vote on it. But I gave up on that. So, I understand what Dan, I actually agree with a little bit of what Dan's trying to say, for the most part of it. We know it's coming from the general fund on this one, and we gotta set the budget rate, so.
Anyone else? On items 11, 12, and 13, these are presented by the Budget Committee, and so I'm going to ask Katie if you could place Commissioner Dwight King, the chairman of the Budget Committee, as the sponsor, and the members of the Budget Committee as the co-sponsors on all three resolutions before I recognize him on item number 11. When it pops up on the screen, the sponsors will be listed. Right. But they're not on the screen, so we're loading. See, you gotta load them. I'm not gonna tell Sam that. I'm not gonna tell Sam that. He's Vietnam vet. He just, Sam. Yes, we'll be sponsored. So it's on screen. There we go. No, it's King. King. All right, we've got, once you get now, I'm going to go ahead and recognize, okay, everybody. Commissioner, we'll recognize Commissioner King. Do you wish to be recognized on all three at once, or?
Do all three of them.
Okay, I'm going to recognize Commissioner King on items 11, 12, and 13. If you'll press your button, sir. There you go. Commissioner King, on items 11, 12, and 13.
We're going to put this on first reading for our special call meeting, and we'll discuss, have spoken discussion at that time.
And if I can have that press release there, Madam Clerk, the news article there. And what the Chairman of the Budget Committee, Mr. King, is referencing, this is, it has been properly ran in the paper, it's been sent to the paper, thank you. The special call meeting of the Board of Commissioners of Sullivan County, Tennessee is scheduled for 6 p.m. Thursday, July 30th, 2026, in this room. July 30th, 2026, here.
And then we have public comment at 3 o'clock.
Having a public hearing at 3 o'clock also here. At 4? Is it 4 or 3?
3. Okay. Paper at 4.
It's in, Ms. Myers says it's going to be in the paper at 4, so it'll be at 4 o'clock here in this room, same day, July 30th, 2026, at 4 o'clock, public hearing on the budget, and then we'll have our special call meeting at 6 o'clock in this room, July 30th, 2026. Sponsor moves first reading on items number 11, 12, and 13. Thank you. That brings us to the end of our resolution agenda. Next order is announcements. Anyone see recognition on announcements? Commissioner Akert.
Thank you. A couple things. Again, Matt, they weren't here, but that was a great presentation about the tourism. And then we also have the draft about some of the, how the money's been collected and spent on tourism and bridge and air service. And I wouldn't mind maybe an update from the airport or bridge or the air service. I mean, I was there, flying here lately, it's pretty busy over there, you know? And there's a lot going on, so, I made y'all work for that money, but it looks like it's going, yeah.
I'll get that for you. That'll be the idea, kind of stuff.
All right.
I'll try for next.
Yeah, just, I mean, I think we can follow right along with that. And then, you know, the budget, it's not perfect. I hope y'all take time for the next few days, week and a half, whatever, to really look into it. And, you know, I'm a numbers guy, and it was mentioned from the well in public comment about numbers and such. And I'd also, if anybody really wants to delve into the numbers, you can go to the comptroller's website. You can download every budget we've had for the last few years. Now, last year's was 262 pages audit. I didn't print it off and bring it in here because I didn't want to carry it in that many. But you can see the audit that goes through every year at the comptroller's office, see anything that they have to say, and it lays it out there. Of course, the one for the year just ended won't be available for months, so who knows when that'll happen. But if you want numbers, you want to compare them side by side, that's a great place to start, because our comptroller office does a great job of guiding us when needed, and I highly recommend looking into it. Thank you.
Mr. Stidham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to invite all the commissioners to tomorrow morning Fun Fest kickoff breakfast is at 7:30 at the Social downtown on 240 East Main. Kicks off a week of fun activities. Come out and join us.
Thank you. Anyone else seek recognition? Commissioner Means.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There's some flyers here. They were on the desk over there. The Bristol Rotary Club is hosting a human trafficking summit at Meadowview on July 27th. That's a Monday from 8 to 4. So I was just spreading the word if you don't care to spread the word as well. Thank you.
Commissioner Means.
I'm going to follow up with that because they are also having a pickleball tournament to raise funds. And since you brought that up, and I didn't have anything to say about that, but please keep an eye out for that. They're having been a member of the Bristol Rotary Club for many, many years. Obviously, human trafficking is a big issue, and so trying to bring awareness to it and raise funds to do things. So, and we have some great new pickleball courts in Bristol. I know we got some great ones over here at Blumful Schoolyard, but there is going to be a little tournament, raise funds.
Anyone else? Commissioner Jones.
I would just like to thank the Kingsport Visitors Bureau and the Chamber. For the first time in its history, we were able to host the Tennessee Municipal League, which, you know, is all the mayors and board members from across the state. And we were down there Saturday for a color guard presentation and talking to a lot of them. They never realized what Matt was sharing. They were talking about how much they enjoyed coming up here. You know, it's just the same distance from Memphis to Kingsport as it is Kingsport to Memphis. So we're working with them to try to get the County Commissioners Association here that's this in the next near future, we hope. So, thank you.
You seeking recognition, Commissioner King?
Yeah.
You'll press your button, sir. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. I'd like to take this chance to thank the Budget Committee. We've been meeting since January, and not every Wednesday afternoon, but several. It's taken a long time to get where we're at, but you know, we're here, and hopefully we can get this thing passed. I think it's not a perfect budget, but it's about as good as we can get at this time. But I also would like to thank Ms. Bonner for all the hard work that she's done. She's put a lot of hours into this budget, and a lot of Saturdays and a lot of late nights and to get this thing done so we'd have, you know, the budget committee would have the information that we could look at. And I also would like to say that everybody keep Larry Bailey in your prayers. He was at the budget committee yesterday, and I think he's improving, but you know, he needs a lot of help and a lot of support from the commission and what he's done. And, you know, the operation that he's put together up there in the budget committee or budget group. He's got a lot of good employees, and they do a good job up there. So I'd like to say a big thanks to that whole operation that he's got up there, the whole group, and also our budget committee. So thanks.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? We have a motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. Stand adjourned until July 30th. Here, 16th.